Alright guys, welcome back. CFP here, and this is Survival Living. Today's topic is alternative energy during off-grid situation, power outages. Hey, it's going to happen. May as well get prepared. Let's get to the video. Alright guys, first up, who remembers these? These are the Harbor Freight, whoa, careful, I got a ring on it, bang the glass. These are the Harbor Freight 100 watt panel kit. Now each panel is 25 watts. This was actually our first buy as far as solar when we first started getting into solar, before we started getting into better equipment. Are these a good price for the money? No, you're spending $100 on 4 25 watt panels. Now it does come with 2 little lights, which is actually pretty cool. We're still using those lights. We've had these panels for a couple years now, so the lights are still working very well. It also comes with a 100 watt solar charger that really doesn't hold up. I mean, ours just gave out, I don't know, maybe a year and a half in, and we had to go buy nicer solar chargers. So for the money, $100, I don't recommend wasting your money on these. I really don't. I mean, they look cool and everything. We still use them, but I don't rely on these as power because we don't get 100 watts out of these panels. It's supposed to be 25 watts a piece. We don't. Alright, so who remembers this incident? Yeah, I got a hole through the panel. This happened during a windstorm down here in Florida. I was at work. We did not have everything secured, and the panels blew off the roof. What is strange is that when I picked every single one of these panels up, the panel was actually fine. I leaned them against the trailer and I was going to put them back onto the 6x12 trailer the next day, and when I woke up, this is what happened. So I still believe either somebody had shot this panel or someone was creeping around and knocked a hole in it, because the way the panel is outputted out like that, that's force, and it's directed force. And I picked each one of these panels up off the ground after the storm, and they were all fine. Alright, so next we've got a 100 watt panel, all one panel. This is one of our this is our smaller set, but they're better than 25 watt ones. These were our most recent purchase. We had purchased 3 of these. Each one is 100 watts. This one here is a new Power, P-O-W-A, new Power. I know, right? It says operating currents is 5.89 amps, maximum power 100 watts, operating voltage 17 volts, and comes with a little nifty diode box. Now some of these diode boxes I had to repair when the storm knocked everything off. See if I can open up this one for y'all. There we go. Get a little closer here. So as you can see, some of these were twisted around. All this stuff was yanked out during the storm. Basically all you got is your ground and your positive wires. Okay, these particular ones uses the MC4 connectors. I do recommend these when you're looking at solar. Now with these wires, they just cramp on to a piece of metal that runs with diodes. When you buy solars, look up your diodes. Buy yourself some extra diodes for your solar panels. Put them in a Faraday cage. This is what's going to burn out during an EMP or a CME event. This is like a 8-cent piece. Okay, replace these. Get you some extra ones. Put them in a Faraday cage. All right, it solders on this one, solders there, solders here, solders there. Boom, it's fixed. You may need to have extra cable on hand in case they melt down from an overload, and I'm talking about an EMP or CME. But that's the internals of a solar panel, guys. That right there, that's what you're going to lose. 8 15-cent piece. Get you some extras. Okay, so You got solar. All right, we're going to fix to talk about this generator here, but let's talk about solar right fast before we leave that topic. You're going to need a charge controller. All right, put it up here. Hope it popped up there for you. That is a 40 amp charge controller at 400 watts. Okay, we have multiple charge controllers, that way we can step off our systems. Instead of just using one central hub, we have multiples so we don't lose the whole system. Next, you're going to need a good inverter. We have that there. That inverter, I've had some people give me slack about all this stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. We've been living off of our solar system since February of 2000 and what year is it? 20. All right, we use it every day. It's part of our 6x12 trailer. We've had no major issues. The only issues we've had so far with our solar is that when that big storm, that dust storm came from Africa and came over, that dust storm blocked out the correct UV lighting that we needed for our solar panels, and we couldn't draw enough energy. That's it. But that's where our generator came in, okay? Firing up our generator, hooking up our battery chargers, which goes to our batteries for our solar banks, we're able to charge up our system. All right, so you need a set of batteries. You need a lot of batteries, okay? Be honest, you need a lot of batteries. Batteries are not cheap, but invest in it. I use flood acid batteries. There are gel batteries. People are getting into the lithium batteries. The choice is yours. I know flood acid batteries. I've been around cars my whole life. I can rely on them. I know they're going to be good for about 7 years. Hey, so that's how I built my system. Next up is our generator. This is a 4,000 watt generator, 3,200 continuous running watts, 4,000 peak. This is a Harbor Freight job, guys. You can't change the oil in it. When we got this, we put it away, and then we did have to get it out. I forgot. Oh yeah, we got it out for the shutdown. We wanted to make sure that we had extra everything here. This thing's been running great. We have not had any major issues, but we're also not having to run it all the time either. The only time we really run this is if our solar is not charging enough, and that's only been because of the dust storm. Everything else, a lot of people talk bad about solar. Oh, well, if there's a volcano, solar won't work. Yeah, if there's dust particles in the air, yes, solar will not work, all right? I've heard, well, if it's cloudy, these solar panels right here do not need direct sunlight. Ambient light, if that sun can be down, well, not down, it can have cloud coverage, and I'm still getting power through that. I've shown that many times on our videos. It will still draw power. So cloudy days doesn't matter as long as UV lighting is still around. Now if the light's being refracted, no, it won't work. So having a backup, generators, okay? Now with generators, you need to have motor oil. Okay, you gotta change your oil, spare air filter, spark plugs in the back on this particular model. You're gonna need gas, you gotta have fuel to run them. So each item has its pros and cons. Solar, you gotta have a charge controller, inverter, battery banks. You've gotta have certain things for certain projects. Now we also have a wind turbine. All right, that wind turbine is an 800 watt wind turbine. We don't have it set up here because, as you see a little bit of breeze here. That's about it. All the time we get strong winds down here is during a storm, and I am sweating like crazy because it is freaking hot down here. Here it is, middle of October, and I'm sweating. God, I hate Florida. I really do. It's just, I was raised in the mountains of North Carolina. I like it. I like having 4 seasons. I like spring, I like summer, I like fall, I like winter. Florida has 2, cold and sweating your balls off. There it is. All right, but now with our wind turbine, it came with a built-in converter from 24 volts to 12 volt system. Supposedly it's a charge controller. I do not trust it. I still think it's just a strictly converter. And just to go from 24 volts to 12 volts, step down, we'll use a charge controller for that before it goes to our batteries. The reason why we have a charge controller is so we don't burn up our batteries, okay? Each one of these is supposed to be producing 100 watts. You don't want to keep on feeding charge into your batteries when they're full, and at nighttime without a charge controller, your power will bleed back out of your solar panels at night, and you don't want that to happen, because you'll wake up and you got dead batteries because you don't have a charge controller. Anyway guys, there's a lot of different ideas for having power. Power is key. During SHTF, you have the ability to turn things on, run a refrigerator. Down here in Florida, run air conditioning, run a fan, run lighting for security. Solar's a great option because it's quiet. Generator, hey, in a pinch it works, but it's loud as can be. Wind turbine, everybody can see that because it's sticking up in the air. There's a lot of pros and cons with everything, but I enjoy having power. Can I survive without power? Absolutely. I know how. Is it more comfortable having power? Yeah, of course. Hey, you know what? When everything goes to crap, I wouldn't mind playing a game of Modern Warfare or something like that on the old Xbox, or is it PlayStation? I don't know. I don't play video games. But anyway, you know what I'm saying, okay? Having those comfort levels, having the way to generate electricity is going to be a very, very key asset in survival. All right. So, hopefully this is picking up. Currently we just put the panels back on the roof. We got 4 100-watt panels right now. At the angle we're drawing 170 watts currently. Current, we're 12 let's just say 12 amps. Voltage in the battery bank is 13.80 volts, 0.79, 0.80. That is the charge rate. That thing shuts off at 14, so we don't overcharge our battery banks. And it also shuts down at 10.6, I believe it is, to protect our batteries from being drained too much. As you can hear in the background, we do have the fan and air conditioning running. Everybody said I cannot run an air condition off of what we got. Yeah, we are drawing right at 500 watts, not right there, not currently. I also got to get the other panels up too, and we got to adjust our panels on top of the roof so we can get optimal power. All right guys, y'all take care. Speak to y'all later.